Okay, you can clearly see what's there. Fair Use Act disclaimer. This is the second time around. So the first thing I want to point out here, okay, is the title. Why does YouTube think? Why does YouTube think that they own Uncle John's story, Sierra's story, Amari's story, right? Andre's story, Shimei's story. Why does YouTube think that they own Uncle John's story and they can mess around with my channel? Now, I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. April, are you gone? Did you get kicked out? What happened? Hello, how are you? I don't see anybody now. It says 0. So I don't know what happened to you. I'm having problems, I think, with YouTube again. Because they're trying to manipulate the narrative, people. That's what's happening here, right? Just like they're trying to manipulate the narrative throughout the whole freaking internet, okay? Pretty much through Google, okay? Which is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So anyway, we've got that there. Fair Use Act disclaimer, blah. Fair use, copyright disclaimer. Okay, no, I'm here. Well, it tells me I have 0 people watching. So I don't know if you're there or not. I see you posting, but I don't know if you're there. So what I'm going to do anyway is I'm just going to go through this, right? Being that I'm being highly censored anyway, right? Which, you know, is very good business practices, I guess. You know, quality service. All right. So we've got this here. I see it says 0 exactly. Hello, Vanessa. Vanessa, how are you doing? Vanessa? Vanessa. No, Veronica. I don't know. I'm completely stressed out. It says 1 again. Well, now we've got 2. Okay? We've got my friend from Missouri on board here. I know I'm moving slow on the foundation, but, you know, I'm working on it. Now it says, oh, it's buffering. Why am I not surprised? One person's gone, right? So anyway, I can't let that distract me, okay? Hang in there with me on this one, April. So obviously you can hear what I'm saying. So this is good. All right. I tried to do this earlier, but before I go and try and do it again, I just want to point out, yes, hang in there. Work with me on this one, okay? Before I get into trying to do what I was trying to do earlier with Uncle John's video and the kids and what's happening right now in society, right? Okay. With the elderly being isolated, right? And nobody can see them because they're not well enough. They're contagious, or they're trying to be protected from contagions. It doesn't matter if they're not well enough or if they're being protected from contagions. You see, Uncle John, when they took Uncle John, locked him away, okay? This is so important, people, right? They skirted the legislation. Now, I'm not pulling up no legislation today, none of that stuff, because it gets, you know, grueling on the head, right? Okay, we're just going to stick with the basics here. And so anyway, when they skirted Uncle John away through medical kidnapping, right, through the healthcare system, all right, they sort of used legislation to do it in their favor, but they never expected me to write a lawsuit, never mind file it in court and actually stand in front of a judge and then cite that legislation to the judge to try and hold the judge to account to do his job and request an investigation into a health authority in British Columbia, Canada, in addition to a bank. Okay? The judge didn't do that. He put his tail between his legs and he sent it to the cops, knowing that the cops weren't going to do nothing about it, people. You see, that's the thing. Okay. So, and they didn't really use legislation to do it. That's why I took it to court, to show to the judge that they didn't take Uncle John in a legal sense through the legislation, although they put brakes on and tried to suggest they were using legislation, but they didn't take it to court, right? They just put it out there like an order, right? But there was nothing to really back it up other than she's dumb, she's poor, she doesn't have nobody fighting in her corner, no lawyer is going to help her because we know how the system works. And they were right. They basically got away with what they did with Uncle John. Okay. Now, that was in 2015. Okay. 5 years has passed. Uncle John was just the tip of the iceberg. Well, now the iceberg is up above the water, and we've got tens of thousands pushing into hundreds of thousands of old people at risk to being medically kidnapped through healthcare systems right across the continent, right? Based on so-called legislation when it suits the assailants. But if you come back at them and call them on their legislation in a court of law, you're not going to get very far unless, of course, you've got $50,000 to $100,000 to hire a lawyer to push the envelope for you. Okay. And this is why this is happening, because our governments and their employees, they know this. They know that there is nothing stopping them from doing what they want to do when it regards to illegally detaining the elderly, whether it's to protect them, right? Well, you can't see the kids because we don't want you to get sick. We don't want you to get the virus. That's the mantra being played out right now. People are not allowed to see their loved ones in mainly care facilities. Doesn't matter if it's hospitals, doesn't matter if it's a temporary care ward, doesn't matter if it's a long-term care facility. They're being denied access to visit their loved ones on the premise of they don't want, like the healthcare system, the workers. Well, we don't want the patient getting sick. So you can't come in and infect them because you might have a virus. You might have it. Right? Whereas with Uncle John, the shoe was on the other foot. When the kids went to go see him, which I've got the video here and we're going to listen to for a little bit, right? At some point here, right? Okay. They, that sister of his who used her position of authority within the healthcare system, being a 40-year veteran nurse that manages a provincial immunization program for the workers within the system, right? She clouded. She clouded herself through the whole thing, probably paid off a few people, gave them a couple thousand here and a couple thousand there. She knew she was coming into the money because she was sitting on his inheritance that she failed to tell him about, right? And because she's working in the system all these years, she knows how to play the cards in order to, illegally seize or legally seize people's assets through the healthcare system, through that legislation, whether it's legally to their favor or whether it's illegally to their favor. The point is that they're doing it. Okay. So back in the day when Uncle John got medically kidnapped, the mantra was, well, you can't see the kids, John. I got the video, right? Where she says that, people, you can't see the kids, John, because you're not well enough. You know that. Nowhere in the legislation does it say that any individual can do that to a patient and then try and call it quality health care. But they did it anyway, people, because they knew that the government was going to cover their asses, because they had been doing it to other people long before Uncle John showed up. Okay? That's why it was so easy for them to do what they did. They just didn't expect me coming up in the ranks, fighting for him still after 5 years. And now I'm not only fighting for Uncle John, but I'm also fighting for all these other elderly people who are being illegally detained, right? Having their assets illegally seized, having their loved ones illegally denied to them, under the premise of, well, we don't want you to get sick. But as a backup measure, if you get sick, those same rules apply because now you're contaminated with the virus. And we wouldn't want you to make other people sick. Okay, so that's the message. In the meantime, we've got YouTube. Okay? We've got YouTube. All right? In the meantime, back to one. I don't know. Highly censored. YouTube is tweaking my page. They're tweaking my source code. Okay? They're trying to bury live streams as if I do a lot of live streams, people. Okay? I'm going to show you how they're doing it. I'll try and show you quickly, and then we'll get on with the subject of Uncle John, right? And how he wanted to see the kids, and his caregivers in a public facility basically told him that he couldn't see them because he wasn't well enough yet. Same stuff that the government's doing right now. The old people are sitting up in these care homes. They're lonely for their families. They're scared. They're petrified. We don't know how they're being treated. There are no lawyers in there advocating on their behalf. And many of them are dying with no accountability, which makes that fear even more heightened for the remaining ones that are still alive. We know what the political agenda is behind it, right? For every old person that drops off the grid and has a pension plan, whether it's from a provincial government or a federal government, but usually both, the minute that individual dies is the second the government starts saving money, because they don't have to pay out those pensions no more. So there's your motive. But all they have to do is put on little crocodile tears. Oh, the old elderly, they're dying. Oh, we're so sorry as a politician. We mourn with the family. We know how you feel. Well, no, you don't know how we feel, because you banned us from our loved ones, just like you banned Uncle John from his loved ones, and you thought the dirty secret would go away, and you paying off YouTube to cover it up. Like, what does YouTube get out of it by trying to censor my channel, people? Really? Is this their story? Does Uncle John's story belong to YouTube? Now, let me tell you something. I went on to BitChute today. I uploaded a video. It was taking too freaking long to process. I closed, right, my browser, right? Then I got an email saying, your video's up. I don't know what that means. All I know is I have a BitChute account that I can upload videos on. The problem with BitChute, though, is, I know I'm yelling, but whatever. The problem with BitChute, though, is it's from the UK. Okay? It's not an American company. It's from the UK. And it's being deplatformed because these bigger corporations, conglomerates, monopolies, are trying to squeeze them out, just like they're trying to squeeze me out. Because we have a difference of opinion. We have different experiences. We have facts. We have truth, right? We walk the talk. We've been through it. We can clearly see what's going on. And we're not afraid to speak out for our loved ones and fight for freaking humanity. And these malicious, maleficent, mischievous, webmasters that tweak source code to cover up crimes against humanity, to cover up crimes that governments perpetrate upon the public, you have to ask yourself, like, why? Why? Right? Then I went on to brand YouTube because I have an account there. 2 videos are up, right? I didn't try and upload another video on that, but I just was reading their terms of service and, and trying to figure it out, right? As to what makes it tick, right? And it's another company from the UK. And I'm like, okay, so YouTube is pushing me out of my continent, basically. Because with them screwing around with my channel nonstop, every fucking video almost, right? Unless, of course, I'm their bitch and I keep 2 peas in a pod growing in the garden, right? And a hammer and nail putting together a chicken coop. Then they're happy because they got me exactly where they want me. Dumb and stupid, right? And an easy target, basically, as they circle me and my family because they're a part of the problem, not a part of the solution, but part of the problem. And I'm not disparaging YouTube, okay? I'm calling out YouTube staff for their malicious behavior, right? They act with maliciousness, right? They're mischievous. They're not trustworthy, right? You can't trust them. And they don't practice good business, okay? Because they favor corporations and they obviously take bribes, right? Basically, because they get paid to do what they do to people like me, to silence us, so that Uncle John's voice never gets out there. Because they need those Uncle Johns and those pension plans to drop off the freaking grid so that they can cash in on the profit by not paying out that pension plan. And that's not even mentioning the superannuation jackpots, life insurance policies. Those are jackpots. Whoever gets those. But you see, Uncle John didn't have a superannuation life insurance policy. All he had was his family who happened to love him. And still to this day, we are fighting for him. And we're fighting for his 100,000 friends who are going down the tubes because of a rotten government system that's taking advantage of humanity. Well, YouTube wants to be mischievous around that message and tweak my videos. So now I'm going to show you. That's why I'm mad. That's why I put, why does YouTube think? Why does YouTube think they own our story? My family's story. Why does YouTube think they can write the story when they didn't live it? So let's change this. And let's bring up, I'm so mad I don't know what I want to bring up here. Right? I have to go to a different browser or something. I need, okay, I'm going to bring up this one. So here, hold on. I need another computer. So I got to go back into screen share. Okay, I just want to show you. I just want to show you what YouTube's doing. Now, it could be my imagination station. I already did a video on it with this. You can see. Where is it? There you go. I already did a video on that. I just haven't uploaded it yet because I'd like to see what happens tomorrow. See if they correct their discrepancy. Because personally, I think they're trying to shadow ban the last video that I just put up regarding Uncle John, people. They're trying to control the narrative as to how from 5 years ago, the symptoms, the signs were already showing with that saying, you can't see the kids. You're not allowed, John. You know that. That was the beginning. Well, it wasn't the beginning, though, because they did it to other people. Just other people didn't catch on and didn't fight back. I happened to fight back. And I've been fighting for 5 fucking years, okay? And I'm still fighting people, all right? And whatever they were doing with Uncle John 5 years ago, they wrapped it up 5,000 times, and they're doing it to tens of thousands, pushing it to 100,000s of people. Okay? That's what they're doing. I think this is the one. I have to see. All right. So what do we got? All right. Do you see this? Now look at this. As I go through this, I have to exit some of these browsers because there's too many of them up there. I can't see. Okay. Now this is what I'm doing right now. Do you notice it's in my video section? Okay. I'll try and walk you through this. It's in my video section. Now, most people on YouTube do live streams. I've gone to several channels looking for a channel like mine that uploads with just a basic camera, right? And then every now and then I'll throw in a live stream, okay? The majority of people on YouTube rely on live streams. Okay. So I have to move this. Now, the first thing I want you to see is the first video where it says live, okay? Because this is straight 100% live. I'm not coming in with no fake pre-recorded live streams. So there's no jumping, no videos, no jumping, no cards. There is no magic tricks. It's straight up what you see, okay? So now we know it's there, right? Now, I got to get back to this page. Hold on. Where am I? Oh, my God. What happened to it? It's because I'm using one thing here. That's why. Why can I not find it? What happened to it? This is pathetic. Just bear with me. Okay? Like I said, I don't do a lot of live streams, but this is important. I sit and I listen to these. I don't even know where this is now. I can't find this. You hear me clicking, right? You can hear me clicking. Oh, okay, I see it has a little blue thing, so that's where it tells me. I can see now. All right. If I move this, it should move with me, right? Does that move? I don't know. Okay, I have to go back and look. Okay, I'm going to bring you down to November 14th. Where is it? Where's November 14th? Here we go. Right here. Do you see it? Down here. Here, I'll bring it right up to the top. Okay. There. You can see that. Okay, the box you're in shows the glitches. I know. That's StreamYard. Don't ask me why. I'm sorry. I'd like to try. Now, I haven't renewed this account yet. So at some point, I'm going to have to make a decision. Right now, they're still letting me download my video. But once they take that privilege away from me, because I'm not going to pay $300 a year for this service, then that's probably when I'm going to try and muck around a bit more with XSplit before I decide to register with this place and pay $300 for a year for this. It was $320 or something. I don't know. Canadian. Anyway, weird. Like they overflow Flickr video, like corrupted files. Seen before. Still, you are great, Judy. Okay, Deborah. Well, just hang in there with me because I tried to do this earlier. There was like 3 viewers and nobody was talking to me. And, I don't know if whoever was watching could hear what I was trying to do. And And I need to have a little bit of feedback because I don't do this very often. But let me get back to this. So on the top right-hand side here, okay, you can see, right? I think I can go into this. I don't know if you can see me moving my mouse, but there's the top left-hand side. This is something I have to do, right? It says November 14th, 2020. You can see it there. 77 views streamed 2 weeks ago. Okay, it specifically says it was streamed 2 weeks ago. All right. And then, of course, you can see all my other videos where I uploaded with my camera, okay, through my computer, okay. And then my other streams, if you go down, you'll see it lists. There's another one right here. It says no subject, open discussion, October 7th, 2020, right? 80 views streamed 1 month ago, okay? Now I'm going to bring it back up. Now, right now, this page is showing, so I'm going to leave this page here, okay? I don't want to close this page, because I'm going to copy and paste this page later, okay? But I am going to exit out with the screen share, and I'm going to bring you to another page, because I'm going to show you how YouTube, in my opinion, keeps shadow banning my videos because they want to control the narrative. They want to control the emotions of the experiences that my family, including myself, have gone through over a period of many, 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 many years because of government corruption, and they don't want me talking about it. They want me talking about peas growing in the garden and how to make subfloors, as they allow other individuals, well, namely one, publicly humiliate me, right? As they creep around with malicious intent, being maleficents with mischief intent, to try and shut down my channel, to protect governments and their employees, because they're sure to hell not protecting the public, because there's nothing fair about YouTube. Nothing. And I'm going to show you why I think like this. So now I have to exit out of this. Stop screen share. Okay. Now I got to bring you to another page. All right. I know which one I want. I hope I can find it. I got to go into screen share again. This is why I don't like YouTube, because, StreamYard, right? Because you have to close out and come back in, and close out and come back in, and close out and come back in, where with XSplit, you can have everything in there and then just click out all from one area from back, right? You just have to know the hotkeys and the mic, and and it doesn't flash, and it costs $0. And their personnel is very good if you need to communicate with them. Right? Now, I don't need to share audio on this one. What I need to do is just bring up what I want. Let's see what we got here. No, not that one. So that's not the one I want. See, I've got more than one, right? That's the problem. And then, my mind, right? So much pressure, right? So they all say 3. Oh my God. I'm just going to exit out of that, man. I'll come back and I'll do that later. We've seen it, okay? Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to find the one I want. So I have to exit out of that. Just work with me. Okay? Okay, so we're going to try this one now. You see, they don't care if they lose me as a content creator, because they make billions of dollars anyway, so why the hell would they care about someone like my family or myself? They wouldn't, and they don't. And I'm showing you how they don't, because they do this too many times. Now, this is just recent. You should be able to see this now. Right, you can see that. Do you see anywhere in the beginning of my videos where it says I did a video 3 hours ago with live stream? What was that video called? What did I call that? Uncle John's Words. How they did it. December 1st, 2020. Do you see where that video is? Now, you can't, because it's not there, because YouTube didn't post it, because they don't want you to see it from there. Right? But yet, if you go down, right, go down the page to November 14th. Where is it? Hold on. There we go. This is something I have to do, November 14th. It's on the right-hand side, upper right-hand side. This is something I have to do, November 14th, 2020. Streamed 2 weeks ago. But nowhere do you see my last video that was streamed, that was called, whoops, what did I do? That was called Uncle John's Words, How They Did It, December 1st, 2020. Okay? Now there's more. Okay? I'm going to exit out of this one. Hold on. Right? I'm going to exit out of that one. Not going to repeat myself. Now this one. Hold on. Which one was I just looking at? I have to try and bring it up. Okay. Now this one, you should be able to see it. There you go. Now this is the one that's listed in my video section. Says it was streamed, 3 weeks ago? Right? Clearly they put live streams in between my video uploads. Right? But for some reason, suddenly, mysteriously, out of the blue, some YouTube staffer decided to hide the one that is called Uncle John's Words, How They Did It, December 1st, 2020, because they're trying to control the narrative of Uncle John's story. They don't want people to know how it happened for him that he became medically kidnapped and they got away with it simply by saying, you can't see the kids. You know that, John. You're sick. You can't see the kids. Not until you're better. This is what YouTube is hiding when they hide my videos or take them down, or I guess in this case, try and hide the narrative, change the narrative. I don't know. It just seems really okay. So anyway, you can see this one, right? Now this one, I'm going to click on it. I don't know if it will take us to the video, but if you notice, you can see that. I should be able to click on this and it will take me to the video. Oh, wow. Did it do that through stream? No, it didn't do it through stream. You see, that's another thing about StreamYard. Do you see how deceiving that is? Okay, I clicked it on, but you didn't see it. I'm going to do it again. Watch. Do you see? That's the point. The point that they didn't want you to see. Okay, you should have seen that. Or did you see it? I don't know. Because that thing is still up there. Oh, well, here. Why don't we do it this way? Hold on. Okay. Let's do it this way. You see how you got to get freaking cagey? Okay. Let's hold on. Let's do it again. And you should be able to... Hold on. You should be able to see this. You ready? Watch. Watch what happens for me. Do you see that? Did you see that? It took it to the video. Okay? But of course, we've got that tunnel vision going on. All right? Anyway, the point is I can go in through my editor and click on that video. I have it on camera. I will upload it later when I'm not so depressed. If you really want to see the antics that I feel are being, you know, I'm a nobody. Who cares? I'm just a toy. YouTube treats my family like the government treats my family. Basically, that's how I'm starting to see things. And they've been doing it for a long time, and I've just been in freaking denial. Okay. So anyway, the point is, I can go into my editor, this editor, and I can click on your video and go into the video. So now I'm going to exit out of this one. Okay. I'm going to exit. I'm going to get out of this one. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay. Okay. On the right-hand side, right? I can go in, sorry, left hand. In the left-hand side of the screen that you're looking at, I can go in through this editor and click on the video. And if you notice on the right-hand side of this screen, right, where the video link is, right above it, is your thumbnail, right? You can see that. I have a choice of thumbnails down there, right? So anyway, that video I can access through my editor. So now we're going to exit out of this screen. Okay, I went out of there. And what I need to do is delete it out of here so that I don't get confused with all the other ones. Right? I'm looking for what I want. I have too many browsers up and only one computer screen. Okay, so now we're looking at, this says video details, so video studio. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how they've tweaked through the source code, people, right? This last video with Uncle John's voice, how they did it, December 1st, 2020, where you can't see it through my video section because they've basically removed it out of there, right, to hide it, right? You can only find it at the bottom through stream, not through the video section like the last one that I just showed you, unless, of course, it will be posted in there by tomorrow. So before I upload this, I want to see if it gets posted. Because if they don't post it, that tells me that they censored the video out because they don't want me talking about Uncle John. That's why back in the day, when I used to talk about Uncle John, right, and blah, 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 I used to get 20 of these in a freaking day. Okay. And I actually noticed that somebody went back into my videos and removed a whole bunch of thumbs down, but I got them all printed out from back in the day because as far as I'm concerned, it was like sponsored gang stalking. I really do feel that people were paid to do what they did to my channel for psychological warfare and to control the narrative and to publicly humiliate me. And this is what you call good business. Okay? So, what was I going to show you? Let's see if I can find it. I'm already getting tired on this. Oh, I have too many in here. Too many. So, video details, YouTube Studio. Let's try that one. All right, here you go. This is what I want to show you now. Okay? For those being interested in this. All right. Now, this is the video that I just did, right? A few hours ago, right? No different than the one that was done on November 14th, 2020. But it's being treated different because, first of all, that video on the left-hand side is a dud. I can't click into it, people. It's there, but I can't click into it. And if you notice on the right-hand side of the screen, do you see any thumbnail? No. Because this particular video has been censored. Okay? As I had 3 people watch it, not say one word, as I was asking them to help with the sound. Are you friend or foe? Because if you're a friend, please help me. If you're sitting quiet, like a lump on a log, lurking in the bushes, then obviously I'm leaning more towards you're a foe. And then for YouTube to turn around and do something like this. Okay? It's all the program, Judy. You're right. And many are awakened. Okay. So I'm glad you women are here with me. So anyway, this one here you can still see. The thing is, are they coming up through your subscriptions? Are they? I don't know. Are you getting a notification that I am on live or that I even uploaded a video? Or is that being shadow banned too? And even if you yourself are getting the subscription or the notification, right? I mean, again, it's done through coding with the HTML. It could be very limited as to who gets that notification, right? But I do feel that is also being oppressed or suppressed simply because of what you're seeing here. Okay. This video does not come up in my video section because they've hidden it under live stream uploads. Okay. So let's go to, we're going to exit out of this one. I'm going to take that one down. Just keep it in mind what I'm trying to tell you here. I've tried to explain it a second time here, but before I upload this, I'll check tomorrow to verify that what I'm saying is true. Otherwise, if I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. But right now, I don't think so. I think YouTube has is trying to censor this video. Okay, so now what do I want to show? I need to exit out of that first, okay? So I get rid of some of these things, right? Let me just exit out because I got too many of these things up here, right? Here's another thing I want to show you, right? I'm just going to remind you. Right? Just going to remind you. All right? We know why. The ones who watch my channel know why they did it. Remember that one? It's on the server, people. Let me know if you hear anything. I don't know. Oh, I didn't put sound on it. Hold on a minute. Let me exit out. Let me go back in. Well, at least I'm getting kind of fast with that. Right? Okay, you remember that? Why did YouTube take it down after they copyrighted it? I disputed it. They gave it back to me. I thanked them for it. And then they turn around and slap me in the face so they could promote their, you know what, basically. Because by removing this video, gave them free opportunity to promote what they wanted to promote. No questions asked. But this is still on the server. Last time I checked, which was about 20 minutes ago, it was still working. They just hid it through their source code. Just like they're trying to hide that video that I just did with Uncle John. Right? But because I put the Fair Use Act in there, it makes it a little more complicated. Doesn't mean that they're not being malicious about it or being maleficent or mischievous or devious, because they are. Right? Because for some reason that's considered good practices, good business practice. It protects those billions of dollars. That's what it does, people. Whatever YouTube does to me protects billions of dollars. Because they're sure in hell not protecting the families and the elderly and the people. Everything that I talk about, and I've been saying it for fucking years. Okay, what was I doing? Can you hear it? No. Can't hear nothing. But if I had my camera recording, you'd hear it. How does that work? What if I unplug this? Right? Then I will make a public apology. And I will correct the misinformation. I've been wanting to do that in terms of fact checking what I'm doing right now, or going to be doing over the next week or so. But the thing is, okay, now here's something new. You know, blah and blah and blah, right? It just hasn't been a priority. But now you heard it for a second? I didn't hear anything. I've got 2,114 videos. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I must have something else playing. Let me go through this because I'm hearing something else. I don't know what I'm hearing, but I'm just going to see if I can catch it. Huh? Okay. Let me stop this share stuff, okay? Just hold on. Like I say, what I heard in what I'm hearing, I'm like lagging or something. Oh boy. Now I don't hear nothing. Hello? Can you hear? I don't hear nothing. Did I do something? I don't hear nothing. Can you hear? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Well, it's there. So what happened? I don't hear nothing. Okay, so you can hear me, but I don't hear nothing in my headphones. See, this is why I don't like doing live streams, because funky shit like this happens. Like, there's absolutely nothing in my headphones. Nothing. I don't know what happened. I should be able to hear something in my headphones. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything on my speakers. Nothing. It's like my speakers are completely dead. I should be able to hear something. I don't hear nothing. I wonder if I blew out my speakers. I don't know how I could have done that. Okay. Anyway. So now let's just carry on. You can hear me. As long as you can hear me, I'll just try and finish this up, okay? So now we're going to go back into screen share. What do I want to see? Okay. Channel content. What's that? All right. Here you can see, how would they have known more than 45 deaths? Okay. You see where it says at the top left-hand corner there, it says uploads, and then it says lives. All right. If I was to take you into live, which I'd have to get out of screen share, go into another page just to show you, right? You would see where that video is. Okay. So I'm going to exit out of that. Stop screen share. Which one is it? This one over here. This is not easy, people. Okay. Here we've got, yeah, see, I got like 4, like just too many browsers up. Okay, I don't know why that's there, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm just getting rid of some of these things. Right? We know that I showed you how they can tweak with my videos, and they're still up on the server. They still play, but because they've got a different agenda to promote, they take mine away and call that good business. Right? So here, I just changed that over, and then this is channel content. So now we're going to go back into here. You can hear me short in headset. I don't know. These are like expensive headsets. No, my speakers aren't even working. My speakers, I don't even hear anything on my speakers. My speakers are like nothing. The light is on, but there's no sound completely coming out of my speakers. It's almost like my speakers got shorted out. I don't know how that could have happened. Hold on. They were working just a while ago. They were working with my last live, right? These are like official DJ speaker headphones. Nothing. Completely dead. The speakers themselves are completely dead. Something happened to my speakers. I might not have no speakers after this. Unless, of course, something happened in here. I didn't turn anything off or anything on. Right? This is what happens when you allow other people to come into your channels. This is why I didn't go in with the restream, because they wanted to have the right to do whatever the frick it was that they wanted to do. And I'm like, to hell with that nonsense. Right? Like, why would they need to come in and remove comments and delete videos and edit videos and delete your account? Like, why would a company ask to do that just so that you could use their service and restream a fake pre-recorded live stream just to prove a point? Right? So we're gonna remove the Dance Kids dance because we seen it. You said you heard just a blip, but whatever. I didn't hear anything. It blew out my speakers. I think it blew out my speakers. They ran a surge or something through my. I don't know. I'll let you know after I turn off and everything. If I can't use my speakers anymore, then we'll know. We'll know that they're running power surges through the internet, kind of like those energy weapons, right? Because we know that they exist. I have it documented. I'm going into my old videos and I'm starting to slowly but surely list them into playlists. Okay, so let me get back to this. So this is channel content. So I'm going to bring up another screen share. All right. There. Now you see it. There's the video, right? Okay. Uncle John's words, how they did it, right? That there is obviously being shadow banned, 21 views. Okay. Right. Like I said, I'm wondering if notifications are even going out. And if they are, I don't think that many are. I really don't. Right. And it's showing here, but now I'm going to show you again, just to remind you why I'm doing this. I can't click in it, but I can exit out. I can go back in. I can click into it. I can come back into StreamYard. I can go back into screen share. I can bring that same page up. And now I can show you how YouTube has tweaked it. But the simple fact is, the video thumbnail on the left-hand side of what you're looking at, if I click it on, it won't take me to the video, people, because somebody's put something in there to keep it at the very bottom of my web page, just under the stream section. Not uploads, not in my video section, just at the very bottom of the page. Right? Because they, if they can make it hard for people to see it, that's what they're going to do. And that's what they've done. And for the life of me, I don't know why they freaking continued to pick on me. Like, is that, like, they make billions of dollars. Like, how could I possibly jeopardize billions of dollars? Unless, of course, we're just dealing with somebody with a really bad freaking attitude that's high on the horse, sitting behind, with all the servers, just messing with people's heads because they get off on it. Right? Or they're getting paid to do this. protect those billions of dollars. And this is what they call good business. Okay? Now, I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to show you again something. Okay? I can't click it on because they've disabled it. That's what they've done. Now, I'm going to take that same page, and I'm going to go into, I'm going to show you how they also, they're censoring me, right? This is how they're censoring me, people. Okay? Okay, here we go. This is exactly how they censored out this video. Exactly how they censored out this video. Now I'm going to bring up another one showing you that they censored out my last live stream. Now, do you see that? Where do you see Uncle John's voice? This is how they did it. You don't. Because they censored it out. It's still up there. Just like that Dance for Kids dance video is still up on the server. You can actually play it if you have the link. They just took it away and hid it because they wanted to promote something else, because they were protecting something else that generated them lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money. Here, they're just protecting the agenda that our governments are putting out there in terms of exploiting the general population to make money. Make sure when you're done work, reboot computer. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm not even trying to listen now because something's happened. Like, literally, like my speakers, nothing's working. Nothing working. Nothing. Like my speakers are on. I turned them on and off, right? I'm not getting any sound. I can hear the power. I can hear the power going through the speakers, but I'm not getting any sound from the speakers. If I unplug it, I don't want to get electrocuted here. If I unplug my, right? Okay, I unplug these. I mean, I could try. I should be able to hear from my speakers looping. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. What if I mute and unmute? Now I'm unmuting. I don't hear nothing. My speakers are on. Nothing. YouTube blew out my speakers. Maybe. I'll let you know. I'll be having to dig out some old little pair somewhere around the house. My laptop did no sound, had to reboot yesterday. Very strange. Well, there you go. Isn't that interesting? But this is a PC, a stand-up PC with a modem, right? It has its own modem, right? I don't use Wi-Fi, okay? I have direct cable going into my computer. So there's absolutely no, but they've booted me out. They hack into my modem and they boot me out. That I've had that happen on several occasions. It's the government control. Yes. Did 2 blips. Make sure. Yeah. Short in headset. I don't know. So, okay. So here you can see they literally censored out, and I showed you how they did it, people. Okay. I walked you through it, right? How they took out that video basically and buried it to the very bottom of my page so that people wouldn't see it, because they're trying to control the narrative as to what happened to Uncle John and the rest of his immediate family so that they could protect the corruption that's in society today by covering up truths that are legitimate, have substance, have been validated with official lawsuits, documented with official claim numbers, right? Right? And they're playing it off like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. These apps modify changing so much. I don't know what a VPN is. If you could get a private VPN, would be a help. Just saying. I'm not sure what a VPN is. So here we go. You can clearly see they took out Uncle John's video. Okay. The one that says Uncle John's words, how they did it December 1st, 2020, which was basically done about 4 or 5 hours ago. They did not post it. I showed you how they tweaked the source code to make it so that it wouldn't fall in line. That's why they took out on the right-hand side the thumbnail, because they weren't going to put it in the search engine, just like they didn't put Dance Kids Dance into the search engine. Okay? If this isn't gang stalking, harassment, targeting of a vulnerable family, basically by a corporation, and they're ruthless and uncaring, malicious employees that get paid to psychologically gaslight their customers for profit, I don't know what is, people. So now I'm like, okay, when you used to do park events back in the day, you did hang up those United Kingdom flags. People used to give you shit for hanging up the American flag. Why you got an American flag up at the park? Huh? We're Canadians. The Americans are at war with, what's it called? Iran. And they're trying to pull down the American flag. This is back in 2007, 2008. And I'm fighting with them, telling them to get the hell out of here because it's my park event, my flags, and they're staying up. Right? Same thing with the United Kingdom flags, the UK flags, right? I have them up with the American and Canadian flags. Right? Why you got that flag up? And I'm like, just go about your business and have a good time, or go away. Right? Go make your own park event. Well, all these years later, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's a good thing I was hanging up those flags, people, because I can't depend on this American company to be fair. Right? Because clearly it is not fair. There is something seriously wrong with this billion-dollar corporation that picks on poor people who've had their families decimated from corruption, from corporations, basically, that capitalize in the billions, trillions of dollars to spread sickness. You can't depend on a company like that. You can't. So I'm like, in my childlike mind, well, at least I paid homage, because now I'm finding myself having to use European web servers just to be able to feel safe and appreciated and respected and protected, as they themselves with their own websites are being wiped out by corporations like Google and YouTube and their instigators that pay good money to screw other people over so that they can make more billions of dollars. Now, this is not my imagination. YouTube censored out that video. Okay? Because it's not there. And I showed you how they did it. Which tells me they're trying to control Uncle John's narrative. Just like they're trying to control Shimei's narrative. Just like they're trying to control Sierra's narrative. any other narrative when it comes to injuring my family, they want to control. Okay. And you have to ask yourself, why do they want to control that other than to preserve the opportunity to do it to other families and not have nobody come back and talk about it? Be that abused bitch, right? Take your punches and go crawl in a corner, and maybe, just maybe, you might heal to come back and get some more. So I'm going to exit out of that. I made my point, right? I think I made my point on this. Okay. This video is long, 1 hour and 12 minutes. Now, what I want for a minute, I'm going to try this another day. That's not what I intended to do today, people. It's not. That's not what I intended to do. Okay, I had something else completely different to talk about. But I'm going to just bring this up, and you let me know if you can hear it, because I can't hear nothing. My speakers are blowing. Whether I reboot my computer or not, I don't know. Will they work? I don't know. I just know something happened. Okay? It's just another injury. That's all. Just another bruise or a cut or a fracture, like a broken bone. That's all it is. Right? Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. But you do realize that YouTube is not my friend, right? They're trying to get rid of me. Okay. This American corporation is not dependable. They are predators. I am not disparaging. I am speaking from my own experiences here, okay? Because I feel like I've been kicked in the teeth. After what I've just showed you and how they're trying to continue to censor my videos, because I want to show a comparison in the real time, what my kids went through when they went to go see Uncle John, and that bat from hell stood there in her position of authority, faking the funk with the legislation that she wasn't even following, although when it benefited her, that's when she whipped it out like it was a spade. Well, you can't see the kids because you're not better yet. You're not well enough yet, John. You know that. How is that any different than what these individuals that work in our healthcare system are doing to the people today? You can't see the kids. You're not well enough yet. You're contaminated with the virus. No, no, no. We'll let you know when you can see the kids. Or, no, you can't see the kids. We don't want you to get sick with the virus. No, 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 no. Because that might kill you, or you might infect others. So you got to stay in the room all by yourself while we figure out what we're going to do with the money after you get real old and die. Because you might live all by yourself in that room, isolated, for the next 4 years until the government figures out what they're doing. Or you might be that number, 46 people died, 80% were elderly. So you might be number 38 in the list of who died over the weekend, and ain't nobody gonna know what we did to you because nobody's allowed to see your body. No, 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 no. There are no independent autopsies. No, 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 no. And of course, we can't let them, really see you too much because you might infect them. because you died from the virus, even though you sat in your room all by yourself with no visitors for 5 months. We just had to figure out the paperwork first. And then once the paperwork was first figured out, then we didn't need you. And the whole time that's happening, all you hear, no, you can't see the kids. You're not well enough. No, 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 no. You know that. No, you can't see the kids. You might get sick. We don't want that to happen. We have to protect you. But if you get sick, you still can't see the kids. No, 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 no. Not until you're better. The only thing is, you're never going to get better, and those kids are never going to see you again. That is Uncle John's story. This is what he tried to warn the public about. This is what I've been fighting for all these years, people. And now I'm finding myself having to go to the United Kingdom to use their servers to get that message out there because YouTube can't control its staff. Because they're protecting the criminal activity by trying to bury the truth. Or at least a difference of opinion. And a difference of opinion that I can back up. Because we lived it. And the more I watch, the more I see. Okay, it's just reliving it over and 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 over again. And all I hear are the bones rattling. The bones rattling. All these old people's bones are rattling. Don't you hear it? Where is the justice for them? Where are these honorable freaking lawyers that stand up for absolutely nothing? Nowhere to be found. Because they're part of the problem, people. So what? YouTube's going to try and hide, shadow ban this video too? I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I can't hear anything. So I'm going to go into screen share one more time here. And I'm not going to run this very long because this requires another day. Okay? I just want to know if you hear it. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, well, towards the back over here. Okay? I can't hear it, people. I've been booted out of my own computer. So I'm going to turn it on. You let me know if you hear it. I don't know what they're saying because I can't hear. I can't hear nothing. I just want to know if you hear it. Oh, hold on a minute. I don't think you're going to hear it. Just hold on. Let me exit out of this. I'm going to do this again because you have to click a little thing. You have to share audio.
We will support your decision, and we understand, you know.
Now I'm going to push play.
I won't see you anymore.
Okay. I can't hear nothing. Can you hear the video? Who's talking? We're almost done. I'm going to end it because I can't hear nothing. It says 3 viewers. Can you hear me? Can you hear me talking? Oh, boy. What started? Some guy, but nothing from video. Okay, well, I'm going to exit out of all of this here. I only have 2 things up. Is this moving? I don't know. Here.
That is
there.
correct.
I turned it on. Maybe it wasn't on.
It's just you.
Okay,
yeah, you could.
It's
phone,
on.
But this is if you
Can
stay
you
here,
see that it's
probably
moving?
goodbye. And
Yeah,
that's okay.
You should.
If
can
that's
you
what
hear
want.
it?
And I know, it's
that guy is
it's fine if
probably
that's
my
what you want.
son
Your family
or John.
is going
it's
to
not
keep
about that.
no, but it is though, because they're going to keep lying to us about you, and they're going to keep lying to you about us. Okay, we can't have a relationship when
Do you hear
have
anything?
vultures picking at the batch. It doesn't work that way. They're
Not
lying to
moving.
you about mom, and they're obviously
So you
lying
hear
to
me?
us about you.
Some guy, the younger guy. Okay, so you hear the video
We left
and
at
you can
7:10 in the
hear
morning,
me
and it took
both
us.
at the same time. But I
It's
can't
almost
hear
1 now. We
nothing.
just got here 20 minutes ago.
Either way, I don't.
Oh, wait. My speaker now. I can hear my speaker now.
If you ever decide to change your mind, just know that all your stuff is still going to be at home.
Go and
You
keep
still have all
lining
your
up you
radios
and
your
us,
records
your
and
daughter.
clothes, and your
Okay.
bed. Yeah, cassette tapes. Yeah, we still have all of those.
All your cassette tapes.
All of them. Mom has the big bins
Okay.
waiting in
Even
her.
when she doesn't throw anything out.
My kids were trying not
It's
to
all
be
there.
pushy with him,
But
right?
we can't
Now,
keep
The thing
initiating to see you, Uncle John, if we're not,
the thing is, people,
getting the same back. I mean, if you want to be here, there's nothing that we can do.
I got that,
except
We'll
be
written
happy
down.
for you, be happy for you, and
but I'm going to
know
have
that
to
you're
type it out.
happy, and
I asked people to type it out for me. This book has been traveling around town.
You've been the most
Nobody
selfless
wants to
man
take time to
that I've
type
ever
it out.
met.
They say it's too hard.
You've been the
Okay,
most
whatever.
family-oriented
If Shimei
man
was
I've ever
alive,
met, the most
she
loving
was
and
starting to
caring.
do this stuff, but that didn't happen.
And the least I
So
can
anyway,
do is just
we've got
support
it
your
all
decision,
written
no
down
matter
here.
how much it hurts, just because of the fact that it's
And
gonna be very, very awkward for me not
you
being in
know,
the house
I
with you,
want
not
to-
living my life
I
with
really
you,
do
and
want to
not
address
being around
this.
me, but
I want to talk to my sister.
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Tell her I saw you today.
Okay, so let me stop this for a second. Just hold on. We can do this another day, because Uncle John's voice really does deserve for us to pay attention to it. Okay? You have to be able to really listen how he said things, what he said, and when it occurred, in terms of he wants to see the kids, but the authoritative figure that was overextending their authority because they had an ulterior motive, right? Specifically told him that he couldn't because he wasn't well enough yet, and he knew that. Which, to the point of this video right now, okay? Which, to the point of this video right now, is what I wanted to talk about. But YouTube had to skew it again. For whatever reason. So my speakers are working because I happen to hear that part, but maybe they're not working. Maybe they're not. That's a shame. These things are expensive. These are DJ headphones. They're expensive. They're like $200 or more. But if they're broken, well, I have a reason to go get another pair at my favorite store, Long and McQuaid, where my rap sheet is. I have a reason to go shopping now. I don't need them, though. Not right now, anyway. It's not like I'm doing any community events, because we know what happens if I do something like that. God forbid if I became popular and started taking the attention away from the wonderful politicians and leaders that we have in our community. right? The ones that love us so much that like to isolate us and keep us alone and tell us that we can't see our loved ones and that they're doing it in our best interest as they're plotting and scheming how they can take our assets away from us without getting caught. Something running background. Try plug headphones in again one time. I don't know. Maybe I dropped them on the floor and I don't know. Or maybe it's the little plug in the speakers. No, I don't hear nothing. Nothing. They're not working. My grandson Andre has a pair. I can compare with his headphones to see if his headphones work with my speakers. If not, it's something to do with the plug. Or I can take these speakers and I can plug them into his little whatever he's got there, right? And if they don't work on there, then it's the headphones, right? You know, kicking around for quite a few years. Maybe they got dropped, who knows? Or maybe there's a little switch on them and I just don't know, right? Technically, these things, I shouldn't be using these for this, but that's all I had. I have these for when I had my DJ equipment, when I go out, right? But those days are pretty much gone, unless, of course, you want to be a puppet and a slave to corruption and a bitch to corruption. Then you'll be allowed to go out and do something. But outside of that, everybody's on lock and key, being told that they can't see their loved ones because they're not well enough yet, or we don't want them to get sick. It doesn't matter one way or the other. The point is, Uncle John was the tip of the iceberg, and they started off with him and they got away with it. And the cops didn't do their job. The court system didn't do their job. Fraser Health Authority didn't do their job. The banking system, none of those individuals, none of those corporations, none of those people did their job, because this is the end result of what they're doing today. They just ramped it up by 5,000 fold. It's like a big fishing net bringing in billions of dollars without having to be held to account as they destroy millions of lives, right? And this is what YouTube wants to cover up for those billions of dollars to preserve the profit margin. So anyway, I'm going to end it now. Hit play video, Judy. Yes, it is a vicious world, worse than I thought I'd ever see. I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? You know, like seriously.
It's not particularly her that's back talking us, Uncle John. It's really Cheryl, the one. Cheryl right now is the one that has been talking to us, and she's the one that's been telling us that, you know. Well,
okay, so you can hear this, right?
Well, whatever the case may be, Uncle John, it's not going to work. Your family likes to lie a lot, and I don't know. They're just.
Sorry.
I don't want to add fuel to the fire.
Just let's wait for Eleanor to show up, and then I'll end the video. Okay, she's coming in.
Well,
the hospital called her.
Maybe like
she got on her broomstick.
If you really put your mind to it, I'm pretty sure you probably could come and see us. But I don't know what kind of state we would be in.
He couldn't see. He needed the kids, people.
Don't
right?
worry about it, Uncle John. As Shanae said, you are a very selfless man, and we just wanted to make sure you're happy and okay. And
selfless, as in giving.
We'll fall through it. Hello.
Hi.
Here you go.
Yeah.
This is Martin.
Oh, you guys found out where he was, eh?
Yes, we did.
It was difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way it was meant to be.
Well,
for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. So
It is okay.
Makes it hard. The kids with that. I don't know. I want to talk to
Yeah, we're gonna talk after,
Mm.
okay? And I would really appreciate it if you didn't spend much time, okay? Because he has been very, very.
Well, we're spending
upset.
time with our young
He has
people,
been
so
very,
we
very,
appreciate it.
very depressed.
Well, you
That's
know
not for you to
what?
decide.
That's not for you.
It is for me to decide. Shall I get security and have you removed?
No.
Because the
I'm not-
family is
I'm not-
not
Are you
supposed
okay
to
with
be
us
here.
talking to you right now?
I don't want you to argue. with
We're not
me.
I
arguing.
know,
We were not arguing before she arrived.
no, and you have, it's been that the family is not supposed to see.
It's not looping. You don't need me to have this on, right? Or do I have to have my volume on?
You can tell.
I want to see the kids.
Yeah,
I
know
want
you
to see the
them,
kids.
but you haven't
Eleanor?
been well enough to see them,
Yeah,
and you
but
know that.
Why are you making?
Did you hear that? That is the whole point of the last 2 videos. Let me bring that back. Turn it on.
I
Arguing.
know,
We were not arguing before she arrived.
no, and you have, it's been that the family
Okay.
is not supposed to see him until he was willing to talk to you, and he hasn't been up till now, okay?
Well,
As far as we can tell,
I want to see the kids.
Yeah, I know you'd like
Eleanor, I want to see the kids. Yeah, well,
to see them, but you haven't
I know you want to see them, but you haven't
been well enough
been well enough
to see them, and you
to see them, and
know that.
you know that. Doesn't that sound familiar, people? Isn't that is what happening today to tens of thousands of old people being locked up in old folks' homes, crying to see their loved ones, and you've got these badass B-A-T, right? Workers saying, no, you can't see your loved ones. You're not well enough. No. You can't see your loved ones because we don't want you to get sick. And when you die, nobody can fact check exactly how it is that you kicked off because it's just not going to happen because they're not allowed into the facility because we say so. What happened was the lawyer that Uncle John and I wanted to hire, but before I could hire him, because they were spying on Uncle John and I in the temporary care ward, and they knew that I was going to go talk to Paul and see if we could get Paul to help get Uncle John out of that care facility. I seen Uncle John on the 19th of February. He told me to go get a lawyer. I got a hold of Paul, and by the time I came back on the 21st, John was gone. But the thing is, when I walked into his room, there was a bunch of people around his bed with a hammock. The same hammock that they had around John's bed when he was in the hospital because they doped him up so much that they made him pass out and they could only move him around in a fucking hammock. So that's how they took him out of the out of that temporary care ward, sleeping as a baby in a freaking hammock. They loaded him into a freaking van or something, put him in a ferry at the bows of the bloody boat, and then when they crossed over and got to the other side, they quickly drove off to the Victoria General Hospital with sister in tow, right? A place that she's been known to work at, and said, look how we found him. And tried to accuse me of making Uncle John like that. As he woke up, realized where he is. It says in this book, people, right? I don't know what I did with it already. When he woke up, everything was weird. He didn't know what the hell was going on. It was because they drugged him before they transported him. I just happened to see the hammock. Okay? And they lied through their teeth. Right? Phoned up Chimay, asking where the superannuation life insurance policy was, because he was on his deathbed. Once he realized what the hell happened to him, after he told me to go get a lawyer. And the lawyer, he just, I don't know. Ended up telling us where Uncle John was. It was decided that the kids should go versus me. They didn't know what to say. But they got the evidence. They got the evidence. He was medically kidnapped. And the government covered it up. Because money was involved. All right? If no money was involved, he would have been treated like Sierra. Okay? We got the evidence on that too. What? YouTube wants to change the narrative on that? Because I'm trying to educate the public as to what we're really dealing with in terms of corruption, so that families and individuals can protect themselves and their loved ones? What's wrong with that? Aren't families more important than billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars? Well, I guess not when it represents bonuses to screw over families so you can make more billions of dollars, because 20 billion isn't enough. They're shooting for 100 billion. And there's only one way to get $100 billion, especially for a government. Right? Remove the people off the welfare rolls. Bring in the fentanyl. Blame it on the victims when they die. They save billions. They save millions of dollars a year just by having 800 welfare recipients fall off the welfare rolls. And then you compound it every year as you add in another 800 dying from fentanyl that are on welfare. Well, it's the same damn thing with the pensioners. If you got 800 pensioners, well, we don't have 800 pensioners yet dying in British Columbia, Canada, because that would be too noticeable. We definitely do have 800 welfare recipients dying, but you see, the general population doesn't look kindly on poor individuals that have been set up to fail by their service providers, whether it comes from the public school system, the justice system, the court system, right? Whatever, social service safety net systems, right? If they're on welfare, the general public doesn't necessarily like them. So if they kick off the welfare, right? If they die and they get kicked off of the welfare roll, the taxpayers figure they're saving themselves a whole whack of money, which they are. But the thing is, you see, the government takes more than 57% of the provincial budget and they put it into these pension plans that they're now stealing from the old people because they can't meet the cost of those pension plans. So they have to figure out a way where to get that money. And if you sacrifice a few old people, just like you sacrifice 800 welfare recipients, then you're rolling in the millions, going into the billions. And then corporations like YouTube get their dividend shares or their bonuses. And they're insured to be able to keep their billions of dollars as they exploit vulnerable families. See, I'm not just some random YouTuber that gets up here and rehashes old news, or, just promotes fear porn to get views, right? Selling you a song and dance, right? I actually am a real person with real stories, with real people in my life, right? Not just some rehash of old okie dokie that's just called spin doctoring. I don't spin doctor. I'm not controlled opposition. They want to control me. They want to control me because I'm opposition, but I'm not controlled opposition. I don't mislead the public to think one thing when I'm doing something else behind their back. Just like what they did with Uncle John. And that's what I wanted to show you, the similarities. You can't see the kids. You're not well enough. No. You know that. It's not anything different than what they're telling the people today. You can't see the kids. You're not well enough. No. You know that. And you can't see the kids because we don't want you to get sick. Even though next week we might be falsely reporting your death. And nobody will know how you really died. For all we know, they could be locked in cages somewhere. For as much truth as we get from our government. Anyway, look up phantom med schools, phantom providers, phantom treatments. Anything else? I'm going to come back and do this with Uncle John another day. What I want to do is I should take the time. There's lots of videos here. Veronica. It's been so long, Veronica. I know you've been there since the beginning of Uncle John. Okay, so these videos, you know which ones I'm talking about. I don't know about Deborah or April, right? You know, that was more with Shimei. But Veronica has been with me for a long time. She knows all about what happened to Uncle John. She knows what happened to Andre, too. So I got to go back into these old videos. I've already written them out. You can see. Yes, I'm one of those people that actually know how to write with a pen. And I just need to type them out. And then I'll post them online through Google Documents, I'm thinking. Right? And then try and do a few more videos on this. Right? Because it's important that people understand how this stuff is being done. And of course, I will once I get into legislation again, I will, as I go through this, right, I can show you where legislation was written to prevent what was happening, and it didn't because the workers ignored it. We're now, right, they tested the waters with Uncle John. They tweaked it, knowing what they were going to do in a few years based on the baby boomers coming in for the next 15 years. You got baby boomers coming in, okay, en masse for the next 15 years. This baby boom that is coming in is the wealthiest generation in all of history in terms of modern day civilization. Because they came in at a time when there was lots of jobs, right? Companies had their benefit packages and pension plans and superannuation life insurance policies, all this other stuff, right? And, they could survive, right, on a one-parent income and still put money away, right? So the baby boomers that are coming in for the next 15 years is like a gold mine. And that's what they're doing. They're mining the old people as they're mining the young people through the fentanyl. So I'm going to come back again and try and make it more concise in terms of what the subject at hand was supposed to be about. That's really all I tried to do today, was what I did at the very end of this video. I sure in hell wasn't planning on going on some stupid tangent about freaking YouTube, But, you know, like this is just getting really, really obnoxious with them. Like, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, like, honest to God, right? It just shows you how abusive they really are for all their billions of dollars. Like, really, what are they like made out of? Like, they're not made out of anything real. Like, just like you have to ask yourself, just because you have a $1 billion corporation doesn't make you freaking wholesome. That's for sure. Nothing wholesome. If you got to pick on poor people, if you got to pick on people that have, like, you know, been murdered and kidnapped and freaking just the whole 9 yards, right? Because they're not just picking on me, people. They're picking on Uncle John's voice by trying to silence him. There's a lot of Uncle Johns out there and a lot of Auntie Jones right now crying out for help, and nobody's listening to them. Absolutely nobody. Right? And all these groups that are out there rallying, I don't care if they're in the United States, I don't care if they're in the freaking Canada, nobody's rallying for the old people. Absolutely none. And of course, we know it's hard for me to go out into the community and do anything because they made sure that I got stuck with a disabled child with no help. Right? What's the best way to keep me shut up and off the streets, right? To instigate and encourage people to get out there and be proactive. They'll just, you know, throw in her lap a disabled child where she's housebound forever, and then gang stalk her until finally she just wears out, right? And then you just come in and swarm. Anyway, I'm going to end it now. So anyone else want to say anything? I know about John through my videos. Yeah. I'm going slowly but surely. I haven't spent too much time with it, but I am going to be going into, I have started, I opened up playlists, but I have a lot of videos and I have to watch all the video, every video I have. And as I'm adding them into my playlist, I'm actually sitting there watching videos from like 2009. Like, okay, well, where do I put this? Right. You know? And like Uncle John is going to have his specific section. My problem is sometimes I'll do a cooking video and then go off and merge in, you know, a different subject, right? You know, not just cooking, right? You know, I'll whatever, right? But I'm looking at, like, you know, I'm looking at, like, you know, I don't know. I shouldn't have to go to a European server in order to be able to put videos up online without having to worry about being desecrated, basically, you know, right? Chopped off at the neck, right? Punished, just gang stalked, right? For $1 billion profit margin and bonuses. Obviously, somebody's getting bonuses from this, right? Sometimes I feel like it's some sort of a psychological, I don't want to say test, but they mess with my channel just to see how I would react to it psychologically. Didn't Facebook do that with a bunch of their subscribers? They were doing all kinds of crazy crap just to see how people would react to things, so they could do their psychological profile so that they could tweak whatever it was that they were doing in order to be able to screw around with people's heads even more, right? I definitely think that YouTube has used my channel, particularly my channel, because I'm a nobody and they've made sure I stay that way, right? And even though I have valid things to talk about, and they've you know, used my channel as a means to tweak their code, their source code, HTML code, as a test run, you know, a trial site, a trial page, so that once they perfect it, they can take it to other channels and do that same shit over there. But they start on my channel first because, you know, I can't fight back. Anyway, I don't care. I went on BitChute today, and I went on brand new YouTube or whatever it's called. I uploaded a video on BitChute. It's just a re-upload of what I've already got here, just to see if I could do it. And then that's when I realized the company is from the UK. I have a website, but I don't have the energy, the time, or technically the knowledge in how to set up where I can upload my own videos onto my own website. It's possible I could do it if I had the source code and I had the time, but I can't do that because I don't have the time. And my HTML skills are only so good, right? That takes a little more, you need a little more savvy, right? And I ask people to help me, but they don't care. They're more interested in building up their own programs and promoting their own stuff before they'd help me with my stuff. And right, because some of it is that controlled opposition. You know what controlled opposition is. Controlled opposition is where you've got a YouTuber that makes it sound like they're for the community. They're advocating on behalf of the community, right? I don't want to say anti-government, but basically that's what they are because of what's going on. Then they get people to go out and do things as controlled opposition so that those people that came out to those things, they think that they're being self-empowered to stand up for their rights and all this other stuff. But in essence, whatever it is that they're doing isn't going to take them anywhere. It's just a distraction so that the government can continue to keep doing what it does because of the controlled opposition. We got a lot of that on YouTube, and those websites or those channels, those YouTubers, they flourish because they're actually working with the government, for the government, and probably get paid by the government. Whereas I don't work for anybody, people. I don't get paid. I work for Uncle John. Okay. I didn't abandon Uncle John. I didn't abandon Shmay. I haven't abandoned Sierra. I haven't abandoned my grandkids. Right? Whereas these other people, they want me to abandon them. And being that I won't abandon them, they're trying to force me to abandon them. So that makes me have to look outside the box. Because you can't trust YouTube. You can't. For all their billions of dollars, they're not trustworthy. Some doctors are getting credentials from med schools that have been closed for 100 years. No one checks to see if they are real or not. So we're all pretty much experiments. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A lot of crazy, funky stuff going on in hospitals right now. You just heard it with Uncle John. You can't see the kids. You're not well enough. You know that. Fast 5 years forward. You can't see the kids. You're not well enough. You know that. Oops. You can't see the kids. You might get sick. And we don't want that. So no. You can't see the kids. Is that a rock between a hard spot? You can't win to lose? What is that? At least with Uncle John, we knew what we got. And whatever it is that they were doing completely went against the Criminal Code of Canada and all their legislation, statutes, mandates, regulations. And the court ignored it because the court knew that for the next 15, 20 years, there's going to be a whole bunch of baby boomers coming in with billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And that's why I'm doing this video. And I will continue to do these videos. Only next time I do this video, I'm going to try and just focus on Uncle John and forget this other crap in terms of, what is it called? YouTube rhetoric. I hope I can catch back up once this live stream uploads. Gotta go. Have a nice evening. Yes, Veronica, I'm out of here too. I'm tired. Okay, it was a long haul. It was a 2 hours here and 44 minutes over there with the first live that's being already shadow banned. I'm sure this one will be shadow banned, right? You know, or who knows? I won't know until I turn it off. And it is what it is. And I will try and write out at least that one, type it out, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, people. So good night. I don't know what to say. Go with your heart. Okay? Go with your heart. Fight for your loved ones. Right? No matter what. Even if you lose them, don't stop fighting for them. Fight until there's no fight left. Okay? Because one day you're going to be in that position and ain't nobody going to fight for you. And you're going to be told, no, you can't see your loved ones. No. You're not well enough. Oh, no, you can't see your loved ones because we don't want you to get sick. No. Is that what you want happen to you? Well, everybody stays mum. Just remember, when you go, poof, you're gone. All this stuff. Everything. It all just stays behind. The only thing that moves is you. And if that's the case, if I died or disappeared under, I don't want to use the word wrong. It's not arduous. Onerous. If I died under onerous circumstances, I would want somebody to fight for me. And there's a whole lot of people dying right now under onerous, which is kind of like a bad omen, right? Like a bad, heavy cloud, bad situation, right? I'm pretty sure I'm using that word right. A whole lot of people dying under those circumstances. And we need people to stand up and fight against that and not just be controlled opposition. How about that? Okay. This is not controlled opposition. All right. I'm exiting out now. So end broadcast. Thank you very much for being patient with me on this. I do appreciate it.